Hey friends, Erin Holiday here, City Director in the City of Hot Springs and also on the Stonewall Democratic Caucus of Arkansas. The last few years, I've done a couple of videos about National Coming Out Day, and I'm going to do it a little bit different this year. So 2022 National Coming Out Day is just 2 days away on October 11th. And coincidentally, that is also the last day to register to vote in Arkansas if you want to vote in the November 8th election. So National Coming Out Day began in 1988 to commemorate the 1987 National March on Washington in support of lesbian and gay rights. And over 30 years later, equality and privacy rights are still not guaranteed for the queer community in our country. Specifically in 2021, during the legislative session, we saw hundreds of bills pass across the country that were anti-gay and anti-trans, and many of them were here in Arkansas as well. So I believe that the best way for you to come out this year is to make sure that you're registered to vote and vote for candidates that support your rights and your quality of life. You need to remember that your voice matters and your vote matters. To see if you're registered in Arkansas, you go to Voter View Arkansas. You can Google, or there's a link in the comments. Just put your name and birth date in. It will tell you if you're registered, where you can vote, when to vote, and there's also a sample ballot at the bottom of the page so you can see exactly who's on your ballot and what the initiatives are. If you have not voted in the last two federal elections, your name may have been pulled from the rolls. So if you're not current and you're not on the registration rolls, you will not be able to vote this year. So it's critical that you actually go and check and make sure that you're current and you know where you need to vote. If you do need to go ahead and register, it's easy. You just fill out a paper registration form and file it with your county clerk. There's a link in the comments to the Arkansas Secretary of State's website for their voter information page, and everything you need to know is right there. So this 2022 election in Arkansas has some pretty major milestones. We will see either the first Black or female governor elected in the state. Also, there are several openly LGBTQ candidates running for office, including JP candidates in Clark, Benton, Washington, and Pulaski counties, city council candidates in Little Rock, Bentonville, and Fayetteville, and state representative candidates in District 6 and 74. Every single vote counts. So even if your candidate does not win, your vote sends a message to our legislators that our communities want equality and representation and that we're going to show up. I also want to point out that we've got some interesting ballot initiatives on the November 8th election, which include recreational marijuana, religious freedom, increasing the number of citizen votes needed to pass constitutional amendments, going from 50% to 60%. And then also the process by which legislative session can be called, changing it from the governor to some other ways to get session started. So a lot of times these ballot initiatives can be really difficult to understand. They're worded in such a way that a lot of times voters don't know which way to vote if they're voting for or against. The University of Arkansas Extension Service has this great guide to this year's initiatives, and I put the link in the comments below. It tells you the pros and cons and what people who are for or against have to say about it and put it in normal terms. So good legislators really do work to represent all of their constituents. So your vote lets them know that you're here. If 2021 was any indication, then the 2023 legislative session is going to be a brutal one for the LGBTQ plus community. So for 2022 National Coming Out Day, let's bring more than our rainbow flags and our beautiful faces. Let's show our state and our country that we are here, that we show up, that our rights matter, and that we will, at one vote at a time, make Arkansas a safe and inclusive state for everyone. Thank you so much, and go vote.